It's you again, isn't it? Do you have the skulls? Blast! Am I talking to a corpse again? Wonderful. If you simply hand me the skulls, I'll be able to reverse the effects of that preservation ritual. Oh my, I keep forgetting. You're the one who seems ghostly to me, you see. You'll need to do this then. If you enter the preservation room, you'll find their spirits locked into an echo of their final moments. Reuniting skull with spirit should do it. Can't you see it? Oh, right. The walls. There's a lever around here that opens a secret passage. I don't remember where it is, or I'd help you find it. I haven't needed to worry about walls in quite some time.
His power keeps growing. It's nothing like we practiced.
Something's wrong. His body isn't like the others.
There's too much power. I can't contain it.
You've done it. You've freed me. Those fools thought they were necromancers. But in their ignorance, they killed and raised everyone inside this facility. Not just those condemned to die. If this place wasn't so well hidden, its effects could have spread to Grahtwood itself. I don't know. With the ritual ended, the undead in this facility should slowly fade with time. As for myself, well, I suppose I could approach the Mages Guild, see if my services could be of use. Well, I'm sure I'll figure something out.
You'll not get past me!
Nice work back there. Nuttall found an old vent that led to this chamber. More climbing than I'd have liked, but we made it through. My crew is making short work of the mutineers behind us, but there are still plenty more in the cavern. Agreed. But we need to draw him out. Otherwise, he'll order the mutineers to kill my crew. And if he sees my face, Fainir is as good as dead. We have to be smart about this. With fire. There's a barrel of kindle pitch on the docks. If you burn the Imperial war supplies on the docks, everyone will be too focused on putting it out to worry about Browdy Bloodshark. When he shows his face, you can stick a blade through it. Here, take this whistle. Give it a sharp blast, and my crew will help you fight any mutineers in your path. Once they're distracted, we'll keep the mutineers off your back while you hunt Browdy Bloodshark. Good luck.
Fools! What are you doing out there?
You came a long way to die.
That's all you can manage? I'll kill you myself.
We have to get out of here. You don't understand. He's insane. He'll keep trying to control the undead until he succeeds. Then it's over. There's no way the mutineers will fight without him. Toward the end, he frightened even his most loyal sailors. Have you seen Captain Linwyn? Is she all right? Thank the gods. If only I'd burned the cursed map to this place. But perhaps there's something to salvage here. The Dominion will welcome a cave full of Imperial war supplies. That should be enough for a full pardon and a letter of marque. You must know of our raids across the Long Coast. Well, that's behind us now. The treasure will wipe our debts clean so we can put our talents to use in the Queen's own navy. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to find my wife.
Why'd you do it?
The traitors lost their fight once you killed Broughty Bloodshark. I'd rather hang the lot of them, but Fania said some were coerced into it. Even so, they'll need some kind of punishment. What we first planned to do, once we inventory the weapons and supplies in this cave, we'll present the list to the Thalmor. If they like what they see, they'll give us our amnesty and make us part of the Queen's own navy. We were, but those days are over. I should have seen they never would be for Broughty Bloodshark. The damnable thing is, he was an excellent first mate. Up until the promise of treasure warped his mind, I suppose. Those who planned it will hang. The rest who were forced into it, they can leave, unless my crew objects. I need to spend some time with Fania. Before you go, find Bulag. He put something together for you. Our way of saying thanks. It may not be much, but Bulag scraped together a reward. We can't exactly pay you in catapults. Not if we want the Dominion to take us in. What you did for us, we won't forget it. Because it's the unluckiest thing I could think of. The sight of those birds terrifies sailors from one end of Tamriel to the other. You'd think they were Daedric princes with wings. I don't want my ship filled with superstitious fools moaning about the Draugr below the waves, or cursed gold and treasure chests. I want a straight-backed crew ready to knock the Draugr overboard and dispel ancient curses, so we can spend the gold.
Beg for mercy. The captain may hear you out.
This one has full pockets.
Which one of these bastards has my ring?
Can't say where the Albatross will head next, but you're always welcome aboard. None of us will forget what you did here. And Nutal won't forget either. Saving our lives is a little more than just help. Next time you see us, we'll be privateers. Nuttall and I are going to miss you. We scrounged a bit and came up with something. I hope it serves you well.
No passing through the Grey Mire, citizen. If you want to gawk at Argonians, you'll have to do it elsewhere. Last year, these Argonians showed up and begged for asylum. The Wood Elves gave them the Grey Mire. Their business, really. But now there's a Dominion, so it's our business. We're containing the tribe until we know what to do with them. We're at war. We can't have Pact sympathizers plotting in the shadow of Eldenroot. Look, Officer Paranel wants outside help to resolve the Argonian issue. You can find her by the main entrance.
Destroy the body, and the animus is cast into darkness. But the animus returns. Dog's filth. You anger a powerful enemy.
Soldier, I appreciate your vigilance, but the Argonians in the Grey Mire are guests. Refrain from any further displays of zeal, or I'll have you scrub down the barricade. Dismissed. If you're here to complain about the Argonian refugees, there's nothing I can do. They're to remain behind the barricades until the Thalmor resolves their status. Praise Ifre. Someone who isn't going on about Argonian spies. Last year, this tribe arrived in Grahtwood as refugees. But because we're all part of the Dominion now, my superiors can't decide what to do with them. Absolutely not. This entire tribe was enslaved by Dark Elves. They have more reason to hate the Ebonheart Pact than you or I. But someone in Eldenroot decides to set an example, and now there are barricades. It's why I need outside help. Here's a list of the tribe's leaders. I need to know why they refuse to speak with us. Unless my report says they're cooperating, my superiors have an excuse to exile them. Soldiers and barricades aren't exactly a welcoming feast, but unless the Argonians are willing to speak with us, they won't stay in Grahtwood for much longer. No. As a justiciar, the Thalmor Inner Council directs me to investigate and enforce Dominion law. They've never given me soldiers. Without an armed encampment, the Argonians might have trust in me. But that's not how they see it in Eldenroot. Utarte is some kind of spiritual leader, friendly sort. Slimjar fishes for a living, with eyes as cold and dead as her catches. As for No Fingers, I have no idea what he does, but the tribe respects him.
Welcome. What brings you to the Greymire? Then you're a wandering soul, much like our tribe was? Without the gracious Wood Elves, we would still roam Tamriel in search of a new home. Once the Dominion understand the depth to our gratitude, I'm certain they'll remove the barricades. Please, ask me anything. In Black Marsh, I was a tree minder. I tended the hist, the great trees of our people. Here I will become a spinner, to speak with the trees of Grahtwood. I will lead my people to Ifre, the Wood Elf god of the forest. We've always thought that without the hist, there can be no hatchlings. But with Ifre's guidance, I will find a way. Think of it. Argonians native to Grahtwood, to our new way of life. Proud citizens of the Dominion which Queen Irene hopes to build. We were slaves to Dark Elves for generations. When the Ebonheart Pact formed, We refused to fight beside our former captors. They called us traitors and banished us from our lands. We roamed Tamriel for years, and only stopped when we reached Grahtwood. We asked the Wood Elves here for temporary shelter. Instead, they gave us the Greymire. All they asked was that we work the land and set aside some of our fish. For this, we must always be grateful. The Dominion capital is the Wood Elf city of Eldenroot. The bulk of its armies are Wood Elf soldiers. I see no difference between the Dominion and our Wood Elf benefactors. The tribe's leadership will soon meet to discuss this matter. Some fear the Dominion plan to enslave us, as the Dark Elves once did. I hope to put this absurdity to rest. You're welcome to attend the meeting, Wanderer. We have nothing to hide.
I was dreaming of speckled fish. Now I'm hungry and wet. Explain yourself. Despite what you may have heard, a bucket of water to the face isn't a traditional Argonian greeting. But I'm not one to stand on ceremony. What's on your mind? When my tribe left the Black Marsh, we brought along our native wildlife. None wanted the job, so I took charge. I prefer beasts to people. More pragmatic, less complicated, and you always know when one plans to eat you. It doesn't, but when you're the one who keeps the Wamasu calm, nobody gets on your bad side. Ha! I had you. The tribe sees one who remains calm in the face of danger, and with this comes respect. Simple as that. I've roamed from one end of Tamriel to the other, handling vicious beasts along the way. In all that time, I've never lost a finger. But the moment I call myself Lost No Fingers, a Gwar will tear off my arm. As long as I can raise my Gwar and sleep in the shade, I don't care who rules this land. We want to live in peace, as a free people. If the Dominion supports us, then I support the Dominion. I'd find somewhere else to sleep in the shade. Some of the rough skins in this village might not see it the same way. I wouldn't go throwing buckets of water on them. You might lose a finger. The meeting. I nearly slept through it. Udate wants to discuss the grumbling about the barricades. You should come. See how we govern ourselves.
I've got what you need.
Begone, outsider. You have no place here. I speak with warriors, not spoiled eggs. Your words are drenched in honey. How far do you stick your tongue up the beehive? Very well. Ask your questions. By Dominion, you mean Queen Irene. She's like any dark elf matron, but her lash is an army of Thalmor lackeys. The Wood Elves and Khajiit are the worst kind of slaves. They'll pave her road to victory with their own blood, and thank her for the privilege. Enough questions. Utate called a meeting to discuss the barricades. If you're so eager to learn my thoughts, you should attend.
Don't seem to be making much progress. Thank you for coming, all of you. We have all heard the grumblings, but if this is to be our home, we must end this talk of defying the Dominion.
You tail-lifting fool! Do we ignore the slave pen they built around us? This wood elf god you follow corrupts your mind.
If Frick can give us hatchlings, Slimjaw, peace with the Dominion is our only chance of survival.
While you whisper to trees, the Dominion measures our wrists for manacles. I cannot allow this.
Slimjaw, what are you saying?
Utate, you turn our people away from the Hist. I sanction you for your heresy.
Slimjaw,
Hail
no!
Sithis!
I knew of Slimjaw's anger, but to murder Utate, madness. Didn't you hear her? She leapt crest first from the cliffs of madness. The anger has burned a hole through her good sense. Killing Utate must be part of a larger plan. Slimjaw was once a shadow scale, a holy assassin feared throughout Black Marsh. To sanction Utate as she did was a signal. Her hunters will lie in wait for whatever comes next. They'll fight to the death, so we need to fight harder. If one Dominion soldier dies at the hands of these fools, my entire tribe will pay for it. So yes, we need to kill them, if it isn't too much trouble. But have no fear. Comes when called can help you track them down. That tiny guar sniffing at your ankle. Don't worry, it means he likes you. Sweep the beach camps for Slimjaw's hunters. I'll round up a few trusted friends and check the forest camps. We'll meet at the old sea cave west of the Grey Mire. We should hurry. If any of Slimjaw's hunters attack Dominion soldiers, my tribe is doomed. I trained the little one to work with the hunters. He's quite familiar with their scent. If they're around, he'll be happy to lead you to them. The hunters, less happy.